Okay, I have one other question on Afghanistan.
I'll come back to you. Saeed, you're out of, I think that's Saeed. You're a little jarring not seeing you in your usual spot. It'd be like Matt sitting at the back or something.
Apologies for being late. I have a
Not in my time. Sorry.
I have
Sorry
a
to
quick
interrupt.
question. Maybe you have touched upon it. If you have, indulge me. Well, the president said that Israel is doing indiscriminate killing of the Palestinians. Now, wouldn't that be sort of in violation of the Leahy law?
So I did touch on this. And what I said, and I'll repeat, is that we have not made any kind of formal determination of that nature. I think what the president was referring to as that large-scale bombing campaigns, even when carried out with the best of intentions, and even when carried out against legitimate military targets, can lead to the unfortunate loss of civilian lives, which we have seen all too often in this conflict.
Yeah. If the president's terminology is accurate, that it was used indiscriminately, would that be in violation of the Leahy law?
Again, I'm not going to speak to ifs. I'm going to say we have not made that formal determination, and
Right.
the White House can speak to the president's specific comments,
Yes.
but that's what I believe he was referring to.
But as far as the Leahy law is very clear, right? So it would actually determine whether that whatever Israel did is in violation of that particular law.
And as I said, we have not made that determination.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Coming back to wiping out Hamas, what about the prospect of getting rid of its weapons? How is that done? Is there any way to verify that that could be done? Because it's one thing to take out people, but if weapons still exist, someone could still take them off.
So I will let the Israeli government and the Israeli Defense Forces, which are in the middle of a campaign right now, addressing this very question, speak to that in detail, how they are going about doing that. But I do think you get to one of the underlying problems here, which is we continue to see images coming out. So it's one thing if you have a known command and control bunker where Hamas is operating, you can go and target that facility and collect the weapons. But one of the unfortunate things we have seen is that as Israel has moved into Gaza, you've seen images that the Israeli government has made public where guns and weapons caches and rocket launchers and other military equipment are hidden inside homes, are hidden inside civilian infrastructure. So it is a very serious problem that there exists not just a large number of Hamas fighters inside Gaza, but a large amount of military equipment inside Gaza that, of course, poses a very legitimate security threat to Israel that they are going to have to deal with.
And then to come back to this localized 4-hour pause to try to move in humanitarian aid, bigger picture, are there talks on trying to get 4-hour pauses or 4-day pauses to trade hostages for people held in Israeli prisons? Is there any progress on that?
So I'm not going to speak to hostage negotiations from here. I've always made clear that that's not something that I'm willing to do, and you've heard that same answer from other members of this government. What I will say is that we, of course, would support a renewed pause for the purposes of releasing hostages. We were disappointed that the last one ended. We were disappointed that Hamas reneged on its deal to produce women who it's holding hostages, and we would welcome a resumption of a pause and welcome the resumption of a release of hostages, not just women, but other hostages, and ultimately the release of every hostage that Hamas is holding.
Are you seeing any indication that either party is willing to come back to the table, or are you sticking with the U.S.'s position that Hamas is holding up the resumption of these talks?
Again, I just don't think it's productive for me to speak at all to negotiations in this regard.